Gender is like, I don't even know what gender is. Welcome to Skyblock. I'm chopping trees because it's summer vacation and I don't want to do anything, so we're chopping spruce logs in freaking Hypixel Skyblock of all things, and my sounds are too loud. That's not the right button. Yes, I can barely listen to it. It's overstimulating. Thank you, bye. Why is my game lagging so much? Like, I logged on earlier, like 5 minutes ago, and no chunks were loading. Like, nothing would load. Like, it was just like I was standing in a void. I could see people, I could see particle effects, I could see myself, but I couldn't see any block at all. Which is not ideal when you're planning on playing Skyblock, which, for those who don't know, let me just show you what Skyblock is. It's islands above a void. And people fall into that void a lot. Like, it's stupid how often, like, you see in the chat, like, oh, yeah, I just logged on, so there's not. But, like, it's stupid how often you see in the chat, like, Potato Master 925 fell into the void, and then 2 seconds later he does it again, or she does it again, or they, it. Okay, like, gender is freaking weird, and when the person who's saying that identifies as agender at the time of saying that, you know they're probably right. But then again, like, agender is literally, I don't do gender, basically, is how it's defined. So maybe I'm a really bad person to ask that question, like, hey, what's gender? How am I supposed to know? I can't understand it. It's like asking an aromantic how to flirt with someone, which, as an aromantic, is a really bad idea. Like, one of my, like, elementary friends, well, she came to my elementary school eventually, and we went to the high school together and junior high together for most of it. Then she abandoned me in 9th grade, and I was mad. But apparently she was flirting with me basically her entire life, and I had no clue. But she flirts with everyone. That's just, like, how she talks. So, I think I get a free pass there. And then I did have to confirm with a different friend that, yes, this flirting friend, that's the one way she communicates, is through flirting. But, like, I feel like when you're, like, people who are, like, I have a lack of yada yada, it's like, nobody, like, cares. Well, obviously some people care because they yell at aces for not having freaking you-know-what. It's like, dude, we're not doing nothing, why are you mad? Like, I don't, like, you're not gonna ask someone who's blind to describe colors, are you? I don't know where I'm going with this, but, you're not gonna ask someone who's, like, legally blind, like, properly blind, to describe colors or a painting. It's probably not gonna go great, just considering, like, even if they were born, like, with sights, like, visual memory doesn't tend to last, and I'm not an expert in this, but visual memory, from what I know, doesn't last, so, like, asking them is kind of a bad idea. That's the wrong thing. So it's like, why are you gonna ask an ace, or, like, the best way to do whatever, or why are you gonna ask an ARO how to ask someone else? Like, don't ask someone who's agender what gender is, because we have no clue, dude. We have no idea. I kind of envy, like, trans people in that way, because, like, they know who they are, and that's, like, obviously being trans is hard, like, tons of transphobia and other shit out there. But, I'm mildly envious because they know who they are. I have no idea who I am at all. I know what I'm like. I know, like, I have anxiety, I have ADHD, I have migraines, possibly have autism, but it takes like 2 years to getting to be tested for that, so yeah. So I know I'm 3 of those things, maybe a 4th, but like, I don't know what freaking gender I am. Gender's a made-up concept anyway, like, it's dumb, like, I'm sure people disagree to that, and like, it's fine if you disagree to that, but like, gender is dumb! It's made up! Can we get rid of it? Can I just be like a cryptid? Cause like, it's really hard when you're like just sitting there, you're like, oh, like gender euphoria or whatever, where you're like people like use your right pronouns or whatever, and you're happy about it, you know, like the chemicals in your brain go, but like, then I'm just sitting here looking up, like, when you look up stuff like, I don't care about gender, like, stuff that tends to pop up, at least for me, is, it's from all these, like, straight, like, non-queer people who know nothing about being queer or the community, and they're like, I don't care if someone calls me by yada yada pronouns. It's like, dude, they just asked you what your pronouns were at work, they're being nice. It's like, and then, so that's all the results you get, and then stuff like cast gender is like buried in Tumblr and hard to find, and like, cast gender is hilarious to me, especially because like, one of my friends came up to me once, one of my internet friends went, you know what? What if Cassandra K was cast gender? They thought it was so funny. They thought it was hilarious. It was only kind of funny. But apparently I have a really weird sense of humor, so I blame that on the ADHD brain. I blame a lot of stuff on the ADHD, but definitely blame the joke stuff. And on my grandfather. I apparently inherited his sense of humor. He was great. I have no example of why he was great, but oh, I have an example of why my grandfather was great. So my Nana used to knit all the time. Like, she taught herself back in, like, World War II, because they're from England. We're from England, they're dead now, because cycle of life. But, she's left-handed, so she taught herself how to knit by watching the right-handed people knit, because it's a mirror effect. And, so she would, like, make socks and hats all the time. Like, she would do it while watching TV, which is a great multitasking skill. But my grandfather got bored at one point and just went, you know what, I'm gonna make myself socks. So he went and she taught him how to make socks. So he made himself socks. He knitted himself socks. And that's an example of a great grandfather. Like a really good. My grandfather, on the other side of the family, doesn't seem to ever remember my name. He calls me, like, because wrong thing. My grandparents on the other side live on a farm. And, they used to have horses. And, like, I'm a ginger, and one of the horses was red. So my grandfather would always call me, like, the same name of the horse, which is Fred. And, like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't know my name, but, because he calls my sibling girl. He just calls my sister girl. Like, or hey kid. He calls his daughter by the proper name. I don't know what he calls my other mom. I can't remember. But I'm convinced that because I got a haircut like a few months ago and I haven't seen him in over a year because pandemic. And also, I secretly don't really like going to the farm. I'm pretty sure if I showed up now, he'd actually think I was a boy. Just because of how short my hair is now. Hair that I have not combed in like 4 days because I just wear headphones and a toque. I watch it. I'm not a moron. but I don't brush it, and half the reason I don't brush it is because I actually can't find any of the hairbrushes. In a house with, like, just 3 girls, like 2 moms and 2 sisters, you'd like, wait, shouldn't you have a ton of hairbrushes? And yes, we have a ton of hairbrushes. Like, my sister's a gymnast, and, like, the only one in this family who ever wears makeup of any sort. But, I can never find a hairbrush, like, my mom, like, I was hospitalized recently for migraines. It's fine, don't worry. But, my mom, who was there with me, was like, she went back home for a bit to, get, like, stuff because I stayed overnight. And, like, she came back and was like, I couldn't find a hairbrush, so I'm just gonna go down and buy you one. So, we bought a hairbrush. Pretty sure 6 of them are, like, in the camper. It's brilliant. It's so great. Like, you can never find a hairbrush. I can find hairbrushes for our dogs. We have 3 dogs. I can find their brushes. I can never find my hairbrush. And the one with the boar bristles doesn't count because it feels weird and hurts my ears, the sound it makes. Like, how do people survive with those? That's horrible. I feel so bad for you. Wait, how much spruce do I need? Foraging. I did the birch before the spruce because the birch thing is before the spruce thing on this island. It's like tiered. But, foraging. That's a lot. You know what? I think we're gonna go watch, like, Netflix or something. Yeah, let's go watch Netflix.